Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Grandma. Today I'm doing a remake. I made the Copycat recipe for Cheez-Its, the little cheese crackers that used to be everywhere. You can buy them sometimes in the store, but not as often. But when I was looking at my videos, I didn't realize that it came out sideways. I'm not sure what happened. I had my tablet and my camera aimed the same way I always do. I don't really know why, but anyway, I'm going to remake them. So it's simple. It's like 4 ingredients. You need cheese, butter, flour, and water. That's it. Nothing to it. 13 to 15 minutes in the oven, and you've got your childhood snack all back again. My kids ate them when they were little. My grandsons eat them now, and they're going to love these when they come this weekend to find out that Grandma made them instead of bought them at the store, because I haven't seen them around in a while. So let's get started. So what we have to do first is we combine the cheese, which is 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and I put just a little bit more than a cup, and I changed it up a little bit. I used cheddar and a little mozzarella, because just to give that extra cheesy flavor. I like a lot of cheese flavor. But when I made them before, they were good, but they could have had a little bit more flavor. So in goes the cheese, and it's 1/4 cup of butter. This is like the ultimate snack. No sugar, no preservatives, no additives that keep it on the shelf in your pantry for like 3 years. Nothing in it but goodness, and it's going to be super easy for to make, and it's going to be, the kids are going to, it's not going to last long. And we need 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's it. That's all it is, other than the flour and the water. So we take the cheese, the butter, and the salt, and we mix that in real good. Incorporate that all around. Get the butter all soft. You need soft butter. You definitely need it soft, because you want to be able to, you can use a mixer for this. I find it just as easy to stir it with a wooden spoon, because it mixes really quickly and really well. A mixer is going to get clogged up in the beaters. It does say to do it with a hand or a stand mixer, but I'm thinking it's going to get, the beaters are going to get all clogged up. So there, that's how quick and easy it was. Butter, cheese, and salt is mixed in. Now you add in 1 cup of flour. And that's 1/2 cup. I mean, this could not be easier and more budget friendly than this. And you mix this in, and it says a couple of tablespoons of ice water. So you mix this all in, and then you put the ice water in a tablespoon at a time and mix it. You want it to be hold together, but it should still be a little bit crumbly when you go to break it apart, if it breaks apart. So I'm going to put 1 tablespoon in, spread it around, give it a good mix. With the butter and the cheese, that helps hold everything, holds the flour in together too. So it's definitely going to need more water, because it's way too, it's want to be flaky, but this is beyond, you can't even, it won't even hold together. So if you can squeeze it like this and it stays together, you're good. You can see that mine's not doing that. So we're going to put another tablespoon of water in. We might need even a 1/3 tablespoon. We'll just wait and see, one at a time. You don't want to overdo it, because then you're going to have to add more flour, which is going to dry your crackers out. You want them not dry, of course, but you want them crunchy. You don't want them like dry. And then the flour, the extra flour, is going to take away your flavor. So that's looking better. It's looking like it's starting to hold together. They do recommend that you chill this dough for 30 minutes before you use it. The last time I made it, I didn't feel the need for it. It held together almost. It's going to need a little bit more water. It's just about there. You see, you hold it and then you crumble it, and it's just about there. Actually, yep, I think just a little bit more water. And you can, you can chill it, but I didn't have a problem. It didn't need to be chilled when I made it. I put that 1/3 tablespoon of water, and that's making a huge difference. I can see already that it's coming together very nicely. It's sticking, it's going into a little ball here, and I'm going to put it out on my board with a bit of flour, just a touch because you don't want to dry it out, just enough so you can roll it and it doesn't stick to your countertop or your cutting board, your rolling board. Get my rolling pin. And we're going to go ahead and pour this out onto the board, counter in my case, and I'm just going to give that a good squeeze together. Looking good. It's looking like it's going to hold. It's supposed to hold like this into a ball, but yet crumble when you do that. That's what the recipe calls for. That's how they want you to do it. So I'm just going to squeeze it together so all these bits are all worked in, and the butter's incorporating itself in there, and the warmth from your hands will help melt it and stick everything together. So you can see that now it is in a nice ball, all done. Okay, so I got it into the nice ball, and I cut it in half. I'm going to roll half the dough out at once, just so it's a little bit more workable. A little bit of flour, and you have to roll these out pretty thin. It says about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch thin. So I mean, it's a soft dough. It rolls really easily. And if it splits like that, you just kind of squeeze it. It's almost like a pie dough. You just squeeze it back together and roll it out. And it calls for a rotary cutter. A lot of these cutters have edges on it to make a little design around the edges. I do not have one of those. I have a pizza cutter, which is going to do exactly the same job, except it's not going to give me the cute little edge on it. You know, that's not, you don't need that. If you ever have had Cheez-Its, if you've ever had them, they're just squares. There's nothing, no edge on them. There's no little fancy nothing on them. So there we go. That's rolled out. I'm just going to scooch this over here and push it back together. So now what you do is you cut these. I could have rolled the whole thing out actually, and now that I'm looking at it, it's not that big. So I'm just gonna even it out, and those little scraps you can roll again. You don't want to be rolling it too many times because it'll dry it out. So now you take it, and you want 1 inch by 1 inch. You can eyeball it, or you can let's see, I get this closer. You can eyeball it, or you can, you know, get a ruler and measure it. So you just go, that looks like about 1 inch, and you just go right down. It's easy to cut. It's very soft dough, and this is going to make a fair amount of crackers. There we go. Some of them, that one's a little bigger than the inch by inch. Some of them will be a little bigger. Some of them, that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. They're all the same thickness, so they all will bake the same. Now I'm putting them on a cookie sheet that I've lined, and we're going to bake them in the oven for 13 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on and see how many I get here. Okay, so I've got them all, half the batch rolled out, and it made 55, and some of them are a little bigger than the others, but you know, again, that's okay because they're the same thickness, so they'll cook. So then what you take is you take a toothpick and you just give each cracker a couple of little pokes, and this will prevent them from, they're not going to rise, but they'll kind of bubble up and make it not flat. So this way that vents it, and it won't have that bowed look to it. We don't want a pregnant Cheez-It, you want a flat Cheez-It. So we're going to quickly do this, and I'll pop these in the oven, and I'll roll out the other half while this batch is cooking. Now, one recipe that I did said 13 minutes, 13 to 15, and the person that did it said that they did it, the first one they did it with 13 minutes, and they weren't quite as orangey color as the ones in the box, or they weren't as crispy, sorry, they weren't as crispy as the ones that you can buy in the store, but they were the nice color. And then she said when she did it at 15 minutes, it made them a little darker in color, but they were real crispy. So, you know, you kind of just have to play with it. I'm going to put these in for 13 minutes to start with and see if I want to add a minute or two to see how it works out. So in we go. I'm going to set my timer for 13 minutes. Okay. All right, and I'll see you back here in 13 minutes and let you know what we got. Alrighty, I'm back with finishing up our Cheez-Its. I did leave them in for 15 minutes. They were not dark enough and orangey and cheesy enough. I hope that shows good on the camera. You can see how a couple of them are darker than others, but you know, you can put them back in for another minute. Check on the bottom. You want them to make sure they're nice and just brown. You don't want them burnt, obviously. So there you go. And all together with the second batch of dough, the total I got was 115 of the little Cheez-Its out of 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cheese, 1/4 cup of butter, and 3 tablespoons of water. That's it. No preservatives, no sugar. This is a snack you can feel good about giving to your kids. They can eat as many as they want without getting you know, sugar load or getting hyper, or if your kids do that with sugar. So, and they're yummy. They taste so cheesy and so good. So there you have it, my recipe for Copycat recipe for Cheez-It crackers. I hope everybody remembers these from your childhood and tries it. Leave me a comment below if you want to try it. I will leave the very simple, very easy ingredient list and how-to in the description box below. So leave a like, leave a comment, ring the bell so you know when I'm in my kitchen again. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a super yummy great day. Bye now.